Shalom Akim. Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors once again to the apostles of Great Millstone, all right, who told me this truth. This is Naaman. Well, for anyone who saw that speech, State of the Union address, all right, wow. This article is from Vox. It says Trump just gave Americans a lesson in Edomite/white history, all right. There's the commander in chief in the caption there. It says in his State of the Union, Trump erased Native Americans, tribes of Gad, which include Reuben, the enslaved, and non white or Edomite immigrants in the founding of America. See what we've been trying to tell you people for the longest time? That this is not our rest, this is not our place, this is not something that we should have ever as a people. All right? Our enemy has always been our enemy. And with the big help from from Edom's version, his version of Christianity, that is, all right, that was used to, of course, for the people that were brought over here in chains. All right, I'm talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, on this side of the world, specifically here in America, uh, Christianity did. What's no other way to say it? It fucked our people up. All right, because then this was done in order for us to worship them. All right, because they set themselves as the people of the Most High. All the images were of Edomites. All right, and they took, in the case of the slave Bible, they took, I mean, they just chopped it down to almost nothing, all right, to ensure that we would never find out or associate, at the very least, uh, the people of the Bible with ourselves, all right? They went through great pains and great lengths to do that. And for the most part, it worked, all right? Till even to this day, our people, a good portion of our people, still fail to realize that these Edomites, these so-called white people, are our enemy. All right, like I say, there's different ways to fight a war. It's not always physical conflict. All right, they got our minds. All right, continuing on, it says as Trump closed out his State of the Union address on Tuesday, he made sure to nod to his largest and most devout voter base, Edomites, also known as white people. This is the country where children learn names like Wyatt Earp, Davy Crockett, and Annie Oakley, he noted. This is the place where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth and where Texas patriots made their last stand at the Alamo. He completely forgot to mention that before Earp, Crockett, Oakley, and the Pilgrims ever arrived on what we know now as America, what we now know as America, there were indigenous people, those who had been living on the caring for the land for thousands of years. The American nation was carved out of the vast frontier by the toughest, strongest, fiercest, and most determined men and women ever to walk the face of the earth, Trump continued. A bunch of low-life pieces of shit is what they were. All right? That's what they were. And when you go into the real history, you see that. All right? And that's, at least in part, is what's responsible for this piece of shit coming out here doing this, because all the information is coming out on these devils now. All right. I actually like to use the, the analogy of, the little boy and the dike or dam and all these holes and water's peeping out, and he's trying to plug, with whatever he's got until he runs out of things to plug it up with, And that's his information, representative of his information that's coming out, all right? It says, our ancestors braved the unknown, tamed the wilderness, settled the Wild West, all right? In his retelling of history, the president not only erased the millions of native peoples prior to Columbus's arrival in 1492, but suggested that their lands, livelihoods, and existence were something to be tamed and conquered. And even what's even more damning to these pieces of shit is these people that he fucked over are Israelites. Yeah. Not only are they guilty of rape, robbery, and murder of the so-called natives, that word that they're using here, but they assume these people's identity, specifically the ones that he brought over here. All right, the southern kingdom, Judah. So now he calls himself after the head tribe, as in Jewish. See? Once again, it says, in his retelling of history, the president not only erased the millions of native peoples prior to Columbus's arrival in 1492, but suggested that their lands, livelihoods, and existence were something to be tamed and conquered. Our ancestors, as Trump referred to, were these settlers, white people or Edomites from England and Europe. More recent immigrants were denigrated as wicked human traffickers and illegals in other parts of Trump's speech. The nearly 40% of Americans who are not white apparently did not bear mentioning in Trump's history. Classic case of this. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon. All right. Chapter 5, verse 1. And it says, then shall the righteous man, we're out here on the highways and byways, all right, stand in great boldness. We couldn't have done this a few decades ago. Before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. What did this president just do last night? Let's go back to the article. In his retelling of history, the president not only erased the millions of native peoples prior to Columbus's arrival in 1492, but suggested that their lands, livelihoods, and existence were something to be tamed and conquered. Classic. Tamed and conquered. Wow. In his revisionist retelling of the founding of America, Trump also completely erased slavery. According to Trump, after taming the Wild West and lifting millions from poverty, disease, and hunger, indigenous people not among them, these ancestors also laid down the railroads, dug out canals, raised up the skyscrapers, and, ladies and gentlemen, our ancestors built the most exceptional republic ever to exist in all of human history. Wow. Proud devil, ain't he? But he's just representative of the rest of his kind. All right. Damn. I mean, with a straight face. Wow. All right. Wow. Let's see. And you all still don't believe us when we try to tell you that this man is the devil. Devil meaning deceiver. All right. Liar. This is Colossians 2. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I want right now. This is 2 Thessalonians 1. Start at 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulations of them that trouble you, who has troubled us for the last 500 plus years on this side of the world, the so-called New World, is these devils, all right, when they came back into power. The whole Renaissance thing, era, was for them to come back and reclaim power. Remember, it's the fall of Rome, all right, And two, they put up their images as if they were the people of the Lord. All right? Iconoclasm. All right? And they went throughout the world proclaiming as such. And they deceived the world. Who is that talking about? These Edomites, these so-called white people. They're just base, degenerate pieces of crap. Once again, 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. All right. 7, and to you who are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahushua shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. All right. 8, in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not the Most High Yahweh, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. Christianity is their invention, as you know today. Christianity is their invention. And other Edomites have even posed the question. They said, what are, talking about our people, doing worshiping their God? What do you expect? All right, back to the article. All right. It says, many historians would argue that it was not the white or Edomite colonists who built the foundation of this country, but those they had enslaved. The White House, the Capitol, Wall Street, and many of our Ivy League universities were built with enslaved labor. America became a global economy because of enslaved labor. It is an ugly history, but an undeniable one. The bodies of the enslaved, abused, and routinely murdered helped colonists build the country we know today. Trump is notorious for these sorts of dog whistles and more overtly displays of racism. While campaigning in 2016, he retweeted white supremacists called Mexicans rapists and told black voters they lived in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. Why? This is orchestrated by our enemy, the people in power. We have no power. That's part of the curses. All right? We have to go to this piece of shit for everything. Deuteronomy 6:28. All right? All right? As president, he has condemned people from quote-unquote shithole countries, and after the Charlottesville rally in 2017, said both sides were to blame for the violence that ensued. Tuesday night, he awarded Rush Limbaugh, a man who has consistently made racist comments against black people, with the country's highest civilian honor. All right? Talk about a piece of shit that's full of hot air. Is it any coincidence he's got lung cancer now? While the history portion of Trump's speech might have been more subtly racist than messaging he has invoked in the past, it was still intended to show whose history matters. We settled the new world, we built the modern world, and we changed history forever by embracing the eternal truth that everyone is made equal by the hand of Almighty God. Trump said as he ended his speech. No, that's your God, and your God is on the left-hand side. That's the spiritual demon Satan, all right? You are his physical counterparts. The we, of course, are the people he hopes will carry him to re-election. The 62% of white men and 52% of white women who voted for him the last time around. Let's go get some comments. Discriminatory, this is Ricardo, discriminatory between the line speeches which unfortunately do imply racism will never make America great in the future, let alone again. It's just to find gasp. Oh, I guess he's saying it's just the final gasp or grasp of a bunch of boomers. It's the same history lessons they learn and feel comfortable with. They're getting old and don't like to hear that what they were taught wasn't the whole truth. There you go. They want to believe in the innocence of good guys wear a white hat and bad guys wear a black one. Hence, they call us black and themselves white. still don't get it. A lot of our people still don't get it. Why you still call yourself this shit? A color. A negative at that. Continuing on, it says they're going to die off, and then it will be a new dawn. All right? They hear those footsteps. It says Trump ethnocentric nationalism will destroy and divide America as we know it. Good. For to be free, says, did Trump forget the captivity and 400 years of brutal slavery that helped finance this country? Damn Trump. All right. Larry Baker says, we people of color expected nothing from President Trump different than what he said. Throughout the history of this country, we have been left out of the building block of this country. Outside of slavery, we are not mentioned in the development of this country. When our president had the opportunity to mend bridges to bring the country together, he chose not to. The great racial divide still lives in the year 2020, like duh. People of color have no significance in our own country. Although we found it, even though we're found in every major, even though we fought, in every major war and fought for our freedom, gratitude and thankfulness has never been extended to people of color. And I want to take a segue real quick. Let me see how am I going to do this. First of all, let me move this and show you an example of this. All right. Here it is. This is a meeting. It says, watch, parents gasp as a Latino man is asked, why didn't you stay in Mexico during school diversity meeting?
I remember when I went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
And why did you stay in Mexico?
See? Why didn't you stay in Mexico?
You need to leave. That is disgusting.
This is the attitude, all right, you people that come over here that are actually our people. Now, in this case, this is an Issacharite, all right? And he's complaining. He's out here at this school meeting complaining about the abuse that his child has received, all right, from these Edomite students, from these very same, the children of these very same, or grandchildren in the case, lady in the front of these people, all right? And what does the guy say? Why didn't you stay in Mexico? This is the attitude. These people are not sorry for anything that their forefathers have done and will never be sorry for it, all right? And that's why we say Micah 2 and 10. You know, we got to get up out of here, all right? Mentally, fuck this place, all right? Now, what's fucked up is this Issacharite's response, and this is typical.
That's indicative of what these kids are experiencing. That's indicative of what our kids are experiencing. Comments like that. And that's, no, he's sharing a story right now. And that's indicative of what our kids are experiencing. So this is the
Esau does not want you around.
This is a platform for discussion.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
You're right. You got the floor.
I got respect for you. Wherever you are.
But no, you got the floor. Hey, you interrupted with 10 minutes. You interrupted with 10.
All right.
That's what
We're going to have this meeting. Let me answer the question. He asked me a question. He asked me a question, why didn't I stay in Mexico? Because this is the greatest country in the world. Yeah. Well, you're complaining about being here.
See, I got your mind. Why do you think it's the so-called greatest country? From exporting our people. That's why. And they're so quick to come out, oh, this is the greatest country. See? Wow, I just thought I'd show that, man, we got to get the hell up out of here. We really do. All right. So, let's see. And having said that, this is Hebrews 11 and 16. All right. It says, for now they desire a better country, which we do, that is in heavenly. Wherefore the Most High Yahweh is not ashamed to be called their power, for he hath prepared for them a city. All right? Because this, all right, Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. All right? That's what we want, to be ruled in righteousness, not all this confusion. All right, this place is indeed Babylon. It's confusion. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope whoever sees this is edified. All right, and that you also realize that time is short. So if you happen to be one of those that's straddling the fence, can't do that. All right. Time growing short. This devil knows he's got a short time, as it said in Revelation 12:12. All right, so you can expect him to start cracking down even more. All right. So with that, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. Once again, double honors the apostles of Great Millstone who told me this truth. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and byways. All right, that continue to lift up a voice in defense of this gospel, and it is indeed the gospel because it's the good news, all right, for our people, all right, the true Israelites, all right. Again, so with that, Shalom Akim, Abad Babal.